The following podcast may contain spoilers, strong language, graphic violence, and nudity. Viewer discretion is advised. You should put monsters in there and they go, ski-wee-oo-yah.
You sure you didn't want to just go with
Skeet, 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 skeet.
Yeah, that's the one I remember. It makes the noise.
Skeet, skeet.
Four guys and a movie. Four guys and a movie. Donnie, Brian, Rob, and Joe reviewing movies for the show. Four guys and a movie.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the 4am Podcast, the podcast where all of my friends disown me. I'm your host this week. My name is Rob. Joined with me are the other monsters.
Brian.
Will.
Tonera?
Joe Barra.
Joe Burrow. Oh gosh, what a roller coaster ride this has been.
Yeah, for real.
Let's just say I'm glad that I could only see my fellow podcast members from the waist up, because I don't know how many of you are wearing those awful, awful shorts.
in that size. So
Yep.
Yeah.
If I could find some, I would.
cool.
Yeah, I'm
I know
I'm
you
just
would,
in
buddy. I know
I'm
you
in
would.
my Me Undies right now.
I
Sponsored
cut
by
my
Are
shorts.
they comfortable?
They're great. Sponsor us.
All right.
Get Will some new underwear.
Yeah. Ugh. So we watched. Well, you know, this whole Coronas thing had us watching a bunch of movies that were suggested by us, the guys, and you know, a lot of them have been really terrible. Mostly Will's fault, if we're all being honest. But I decided it was time to get my revenge with Godzilla's Revenge,
The rest of us were innocent bystanders.
a movie that really barely has any Godzilla, and I can't think of any revenge that it actually has, but there you have it.
More kind of like Godzilla Boss Rush.
Yeah, it really was. Like,
Wasn't it called something else?
Yes.
yeah, I'm sure it had like 20 different names.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
I wrote it in my notes as Godzilla's Revenge ?
I mean, it should have been just Godzilla's Clip Show,
Mhm.
really. Like, Godzilla's Ends in Pieces.
Yeah.
Brian, what's your history
Rob?
with Godzilla's Revenge?
I know I've seen it. Because back in the day when I was real little, there was a channel that would show this kind of shit. You can find kung fu movies up there sometimes. You can find Godzilla movies up there sometimes. I can't remember like what station it was, but every now and then, like Sunday mornings, you can catch this kind of shit. Like, I'd be home from church and I'd be like, let me see what I can find. I remember this movie because of Minya,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all I remembered from it.
It's hard to
And I
forget.
remember like not being entertained, but that's about it.
Okay, Joe, what's your history with this movie?
So, the only real Godzilla movie I saw as a kid all the way through was Godzilla vs. Megalon.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember seeing that this was on TV. And so I was like, okay, so it's going to be that same quality standard, but now there's a kid Godzilla? So I was like, abort. Fuck that.
Yeah, you're gonna
Find something
wish it
else.
was the same quality standard.
Yeah, so I was immediately done.
All right, Will.
Yeah, I had never heard, nor seen, nor in my wildest nightmares believed that such a film existed.
All right, Tony, what's your history with this movie?
We'll be glad you didn't have to watch Garbage Pail Kids.
No,
As
go watch it, Will. Go watch it.
That's true. Will didn't watch Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that tonight after I watch
Yes.
Hamilton.
Absolutely, you should do that.
only if someone's there to put you on suicide watch.
Hamilton, then Garbage Pail Kids. Two
Sounds like a night.
two Pulitzer Prize winning films. Tony.
Oh, the highs and the lows. So, yeah, as Rob will definitely already know, we had a father who loved Godzilla, loved these kind of movies.
Now it all makes sense.
Yeah, so we saw these, these types of movies quite a bit. This particular one, I don't know how many times I've seen, but more than I care to admit anyway, so, yeah.
Well, because our dad actually had this one on VHS, and the cover had all of the monsters, like, and their names and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I remember this film very fondly because it's got all the monsters in it. It's got the freaking Suicide Squad of Monster Island.
Yeah.
All of the D-list Monster Island inhabitants are here.
It has more monsters than were actually there.
It's got many different versions of Godzilla because it is just clips of other Godzilla movies.
Yep.
Like, I wondered that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense now.
Straight up. So...
Do you want me to just get into it?
Do you have a history of this film?
A very brief one.
All right, so we'll go and I'll find another way to fill time. Go ahead.
Why are you trying to fill time when we... All right, never mind. All right, so this is directed by Ishiro Honda, who did a bunch of movies, Young Tree, Be Happy, These Lovers, and a whole bunch of Godzilla movies. Just a ton of them.
Now, to be fair, was Godzilla in the other movies too?
He might have been. I don't know. I have not seen them. I can't say.
The two lovers was Godzilla and Mothra.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, can I just ask, when we're talking about two lovers, has Godzilla ever had a girlfriend type character?
No. Unless you count a human.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
Well, yeah. In the '98 one, he had Matthew Broderick.
Well, yeah, there was that.
Mm-hmm.
There was
in the '98 one, he was indeed female.
Yeah.
Matthew Broderick or the Godzilla?
Both.
they were both asexual, I would say.
Mm.
Yeah, in Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, Godzilla does take a liking to one of the native girls there.
Oh, that's right. In '98, he was a hermaphrodite. Never mind.
Well, who wasn't back in '98?
Yeah, in '98. I mean, it's wild times.
That was the thing.
I didn't know which way I was facing.
right.
So go on.
Yeah. So oddly enough, Godzilla was its popularity was starting to wane a little. So they looked for inspiration in their basically lower budget rip-off version of Gamera and all the Gamera versus movies and how Gamera was friend to children. So they decided to go that route. What?
Are you not familiar with
Friends
Gamera?
with children?
So, Will, Gamera is a giant turtle that can fly, eats fire, and is friend to children. So what exactly are you confused about?
Was he in this movie?
No, but he is full of meat.
I do believe he pops up in the background at some point and just waves.
Yeah. Can Gamera... Did he have the ability to shrink down and grow?
No.
Okay.
He can tuck his limbs into his body and they become thrusters.
Like a Buffalo Bill?
Yeah, I mean, turtles can do that.
So he's like Buffalo Bill, he can tuck it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can tuck it.
But yeah, so this movie was intentionally trying to get back their audience, so they aimed for a smaller child viewing audience, obviously, with a expected Christmas release date.
I mean,
I love that.
Merry Christmas to me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But yeah, they also were struggling with not having the budget from the previous movies because the movie that preceded this, Destroy All Monsters, didn't do so well. So they did just straight up, they made this a clip show. It's almost all footage from Godzilla movies. There's some from like King Kong movies and other giant monster movies, whichever other one, like Rodan or whatever else fell under their umbrella. Oddly enough, the one scene that they did not use a clip for is the scene where Godzilla's teaching Midna how to do the fire breath, even though he had already done that in a previous movie and could have used that.
So wait, so Minya, this isn't Minya's first movie?
No.
Okay.
Oh, yes, which also goes back to the first point we were trying to make here. Rob has this as Godzilla's Revenge. I believe that was the VHS we had as kids. But the actual name that's most known for is All Monsters Attack. It is sometimes known as Minya, Son of Godzilla, but less so, I think, because the other thing that people know about this movie is they hate it. Even most Godzilla fans say this is the worst of the series, claiming it is, quote, it has a childish plot, annoying child protagonist, and focus on unpopular monsters like Midna, who even now gets to talk, which he had not in the previous installment.
And that voice, oh man.
Yeah, that's a heavy
Look,
use of stock footage.
You don't like Rodney Dangerfield?
It was more of like what's that guy from Barney Fife?
It was
Don
goofy.
Knotts.
It was goofy.
It was a little goofy.
Yeah,
Hey, intro, can you come help me move this couch?
Like
they
legit.
people also didn't like the message, as it were. From
Okay.
This movie.
So heads up to all those people. Godzilla versus the Smog Monster is worse
I believe it.
in every aspect.
But that's also knowing all that is why I wanted to add this last bit of trivia in, which is this is part of the Criterion Collection.
Well,
So-
I mean, of course it is. You know, it's got to be preserved. Got to
Of
be
course.
preserved.
All right, does anyone want to guess how much money
No.
this movie cost to make?
Yo, $47.
A stolen bag of 50 million yen?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 200,000 yen.
A pair of little short shorts.
You know, I'm gonna change mine. I'm gonna go to a buffet, a Dragon Star buffet gift card, and I'm gonna say yeah, that's it.
Two hentai body pillows.
Well, yeah. Fun note here. Since I actually had to do the conversion, I can tell you it was actually 200 million yen,
Whoa.
Oh.
Okay, come on.
Wow.
which
Yen
is
do not get you very far.
yeah. Well, that is roughly $2 million in American.
Mm.
I want to guess how much it made.
Nothing.
A stolen bag of 50 million yen?
I don't know.
Yeah, I
Rubber
have no
ducky-
idea.
Rubber duck in a Hitler costume for no
All right.
reason.
I'll
dollar.
just- it was $260 million. 60 million yen. Sorry.
Okay.
So it's still turned to profit.
Yeah, which is roughly $2,500,000.
Okay. So we're gonna forego the cast list this time around because yeah.
I think we have a cast list of sorts that Joe would
Well,
like to
Yeah,
tell us
Joe,
about.
can you name those monsters?
I believe Joe said he doesn't want to read it.
Yeah,
No,
okay,
no.
so what monsters you want?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, the monsters. Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
well, let's review my notes. I actually took 2 pages of notes on this movie. So,
Wow.
all right, so we got Gamakara, we got Brosaurus, we got Mander, we got Amulus, we got fucking Gabara, some kind of crab. I didn't catch the crab's name.
Gusty.
First time Joe hasn't caught crabs.
Yeah.
Ha.
Okay.
Well, I have so many now, they just kind of chase the new ones away. And Minya, that counts as a monster.
Joe, would you like to describe Minya?
So, all right, imagine like a shitty green, like a sandbox turtle turned into a costume, painted olive drab instead of green. And it constantly has a face like, "Come on, guys!" like that kind of face, and it just sucks. It just sucks.
Brian, would you
So,
like to
all right.
describe Minya?
If you, all right, so take a Grimace doll, right, from McDonald's, Grimace, right,
Grimace.
and then you put it in the microwave, so it starts to like rubberize and melt, right, and then you took it out, you painted it, green. That's Minya.
Will,
Well, it would have less of a gut.
Well,
And
that
okay.
formed the tail. That melted down and became the tail.
Yeah.
Will describe Minya.
All right, I've got a couple options here.
Okay.
All right, the first one is Danny DeVito lizard,
Okay. Okay.
and the other one is Komodo dragon on the sex offender registry.
All right. Tony, you want to take a stab at describing Minya?
All right. Well, first, just so you get the idea in your head, like you know how you have Sonic, and then you have Sanic, that horrible drawing that's on the internet.
Mhm.
Then you have Godzilla and Midna. That's where we're starting with. All right. So now imagine your dad dreams big, but he's also a drinker, and you ask him to make you a Ninja Turtles costume.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah,
That's
that sounds about right.
He's like, I got all the materials, I just don't know how to make it go together.
Now, listener, I want you to draw each one of the ones how we described it.
Oh, can I take one more?
Yeah.
All right. So remember a few years ago, there was that meme of the woman who was asked to restore that famous painting of Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So it's like that. Like she was asked to restore a Godzilla painting. And what you get is Minda.
Can you restore the Godzilla franchise? Yeah, I totally got this.
She's retouching it for the Criterion Collection.
Remastered.
So, Godzilla's Revenge.
More like Rob's revenge.
Correct. How do we all feel about this theme music, for starters?
Oh, we're kicking ass. March of the Monsters? Hell yeah. I love all the points where it stops and you think it's over, and then that bass line starts up again, and you're like, oh yeah. Yeah, it sounds like someone's torturing a keyboard.
Oh my god, it punches you right in the eardrums.
Oh, this is definitely part of my workout playlist.
Yeah.
Really?
All right, so
No.
before the music even started, I made an observation of so this came out in 1969.
Yeah.
The same year as 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Well, I mean, you could tell
So,
because
I'm
it's
like-
basically like
and-
the same movie.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like,
they
let's,
both got on the Criterion, so you know.
I'm like, let's see where the high point of special effects at the time, and then how this movie stacks up.
So we meet our hero.
Ichiro.
I mean,
Little
I mean,
Ash
there's
Ketchum.
basically first the theme song is playing and it basically shows you all of the monster scenes from the movie in the opening credits. So you
Yeah.
try and ignore that.
and scenes that weren't there, like
Correct,
Godzilla
yeah.
punching down a building. That's just
Yeah.
it's
well,
never in the movie.
so we meet our hero, Ichiro.
Immediate problems.
What problems do you have with Ichiro? Just that he's so
So-
adorable?
There were a lot of times in this movie where I was able to tell myself it was 1969 and they didn't know any better.
Uh-huh.
But this guy's shorts, I would not find this pair of shorts to be acceptable on a lady, let alone a dude. And
Maybe a
like,
60s tennis player.
That's
yeah, okay, or like if you're playing sports, I'm okay with those shorts, like because like that was like the old NBA basketball shorts too, and soccer players still pretty much wear shorts like this today. But like you're looking at it, you're like, oh god, like that kid's like if he moves the wrong way, we're seeing his underwear, and like you're seing way more of this. Yeah, way more of this child than I want to look at. It makes you feel wrong. Like it's just bad.
This is my confession.
I also feel bad because it took me a little while. Admittedly, I wasn't paying the most attention, but it took me a little while to realize his little friend there was a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
voice
same.
dub. The voice dub for that was real bad.
What are
you doing?
I thought it was just an androgynous boy in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. To be fair, it's probably I'm certain it is voiced by like a 36-year-old man.
Yep. Yellow hat. Are we digging it? Or are we not digging it?
I like it.
Yeah, the yellow hat I was okay with.
I can't actually Google search to see if I could buy it.
Mhm.
Nice. I told Will this is like the precursor to Ash Ketchum right here. What we're
Yeah, basically. Like if he dressed like in Misty's clothes.
seeing. yeah.
He does
So-
want to catch them all.
Yeah. And then he's talking about like monsters, and he's like, they make sounds like. And you're like, gosh, shut up.
Yeah, because all you can think of at that point is like 20 years down the road, this kid is screaming those same monster sounds from like a
Yeah.
padded room somewhere.
No,
All
at
right.
Point of climax.
At a cashier in a retail store that has to sit there and listen to him.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Hito, we've asked you to leave 3 times.
I want my
pandemic.
change. He also does one of the things that annoyed the shit out of me the most, which is he comes in hot like, I'm so cool, I'm not afraid of anything, whatever, I'm gonna go behind this fence, it's not a problem, until like the shittiest bullies show up and he immediately wets his pants.
Oh yeah, these
These
little
bullies.
shits.
These
I thought
bullies
it
are
was,
something else, though.
They're kind of like if the Fat Albert gang took place in Tokyo.
Ichiro! Come out and play.
Yeah, I didn't understand his strategy, and I was taking notes, so I didn't fully see what happened in the scene. But
It's collective
it appeared
tubes, Joe.
that he looked like he found a discarded Godzilla tooth. Turned out to be a vacuum tube. And then the kids were like, "Give it here!" And he pulled it out to show him, and they're like, "We're taking it." And it's like, why would you show him that? Like, you know how that's gonna go. So the kids take his vacuum tube. That's, I mean, what, that'll get you copper, glass, and steel, I think, in Fallout 4. Those are pretty valuable.
He's making his computer, Joe.
Yup. So
His love robot.
his only interaction with his father is he has to run alongside a train, talk to his dad, who I think is named Tack. I don't know.
He thinks the train is his father.
Yeah.
That's just a conductor like trying to be polite.
St. Thomas.
That would be great if the guy was just like, "What? I don't know what you're talking about."
See, let me
I don't
lay
have that
something
man on
down
the
for you.
screen.
I don't know if you know this, but his mom is a prostitute.
Okay.
I was gonna say,
And every once in a while, we really ran a train on your mom.
Oh.
Literally.
And this kid took it the wrong way. He thought his little daddy is a little Thomas the Tank Engine, little
Oh
choo
my
choo.
So now he runs next to trains.
Yeah,
Yep.
he
That's
keeps
why-
trying to outrun it so he can see the face.
Yeah.
That's why his mom's never around.
Yeah,
So we also, in the scene with the bullies, we get a bit of a translation error where at one point he's looking at all of them and he says, "I won't do you guys."
I think
It's
I
like,
think he
what?
says, "I won't do it, you guys."
No, there's
because
no
there's-
it. I rewound it.
Well, it's because it's not because it's just an adult trying to
Okay.
sound like a whining
Yep.
child, and it just comes out, "I won't do you guys,"
Mhm.
and yeah, it could go.
That
either
was
way.
good, Rob.
Yeah,
that
That
listen,
was a
just
good impression.
I've seen this film a couple of times.
This was Rob's like role model growing up.
That's right. I was always stealing tubes and running from bullies.
You
Yeah.
wanted to be a little Ichiro.
In case you
I
guys
believe half of
don't
that.
know, in case you don't know how a lot of people have role models that they look up to, Rob looks up to monsters.
That's
So-
true.
We find out about the theft of 50 million yen, and cops are looking for these robbers. And Ichiro goes to see the one person in the world who gives a shit about him. This like old
Maybe?
man
Question
toy
mark?
tinker.
Just
All right, he gives
like a Geppetto.
he
It's
gives
pretty
a
much a-
fraction of shit. Like he has
The
he has
one man,
some
Go ahead.
decimal amount of fucks to give about Ichiro.
It's
Yes,
just the Japanese Rick and Morty, really. Think about it.
he's the one man that cares for him. Now,
Yeah.
I don't mean necessarily that he actually cares for him, but he does like feed him and clothe
Yeah.
him and give him a roof.
I
Or you
do
have
this
those short
instead of
shorts.
paying your mom.
Yeah.
Now, I'll say he probably collects like pieces of equipment that he finds to bring to this old guy to invent stuff.
Yeah.
Because he's an inventor.
Yeah.
And he repairs toys.
Yeah.
So this guy's like, check out this mini computer I got. And it's like, it talks about space, which I realized actually would have been a pretty big deal because that was the same year we went to the moon.
It was in color.
Yeah. And yeah, Ichiro's like, it sucks. I want it to be about Monster Island.
Sounds
like,
like every Christmas.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, kid, appreciate this computer. This is literally the best special effects we're gonna have in the whole movie.
Mhm. And kids like, it should make monster noises, like goo goo kapitcha goo, or whatever he fucking says.
All right, Bill Cosby.
Bills.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, yeah.
Kid walks out. You just hear a single gunshot and a thump.
Well, no, this guy does scream because old man Electro Boom here steps on his soldering iron. And
Oh, jeez.
Ichiro runs back in and is like, was that a monster noise?
No, I'm dying, Ash. Go get Jinx with her healing spell.
And this is again where I'm like, fuck this kid. Because yeah, he's like, that wasn't a monster? All right, never mind. Like, dude, no, call the police or an ambulance.
And here's one area where I can identify with the kid, because it being 1969, he goes home, turns on the TV.
Dude.
One channel is just about the 50 million yen stolen and the robbers. The other channel is about Hubert and Geraldine and their love or lack thereof for each other. And that's it. That's all he's got. He's like,
yeah,
fuck
but
the TV.
did you see that kid sit in front of that TV and slam that pound cake and milk?
Oh yeah, yeah. He ain't fucking around.
Like it was nothing. Fat Chat Pro right there.
Yeah.
Fat Chat Pro.
Yeah. I mean, this kid, he will be a chonker by his teens.
His running days are over soon.
Or if
those ankles are giving out.
If he makes it through his teens, the moment he gets to university, he's gonna be a fucking porker.
Yeah.
So
confined to a chair.
He's like, I'm gonna pull out my computer.
And different computer. More different computer than the space computer.
And now when I saw this, I was like, oh shit, this can go a lot of different ways. Is that going to transport him to Monster Island?
It's just a bomb, Joe. He's just making a bomb.
Yeah, is it going to blow up and he
I'll make Monster Island here.
Does it summon Godzilla? I'm like, what's this fucking thing going to do? And he's like, oh, I got to do the antenna. And it's like this curly Q thing he has to pull out. And then, the computer just renders him unconscious, and he goes into dreamland.
I had a scenario that I thought this reminded me of, like, random night in the Etruria house. Rob's a little kid, really wants Hot Pockets for dinner, but for some reason, only thing they've got is Lean Pockets.
So
runs back to his bedroom. Starts crying.
I got some news for you, Will. If you had gone with Elio's Pizza, I'd be with you. But I don't think I've ever had a Hot Pocket in my life.
What?
Like a real Hot Pocket? I don't think I've ever had.
Oh yes, you have.
Have I?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I don't remember them.
All right, well that doesn't matter as much, but it's just you crying and saying, "I want to go to Monster Island."
I mean, yes, I did cry a lot about going to Monster Island.
If I could throw in one last piece of trivia that I kind of left out.
I
was saving it. Apparently, at some point in the development of this movie, it was going to have a, quote, more somber ending.
Yes?
Where it turns out this kid just electrocuted himself. And he dreamed all of this.
Yes.
That would have been amazing.
I mean, the credits are just his face looking up at the sky as they wheel him out on a gurney.
Yeah, again, I'm not 100% sure of that. I'm throwing in the kid electrocuted himself and died and just dreamed Monster Island. But they did say they wanted a more somber tone or a more somber
Minya?
ending.
He becomes the Ken Watanabe character from the newer ones.
No. Like he's like lying on the gurney. They bring him out. He's just looking up at the sky, hearing like monster sounds. Yeah, and then Minya just comes up on the side and just pulls the black sheet up over his head and just stares into the camera.
Or pulls
the credits roll.
Puts a pillow over his head.
Yeah, and then it's whatever the ending song was of Infinity War.
No, just more March of the Monsters. Just kick the bass line back in and more random keyboard having a seizure.
So there's commercial flights to Monster Island, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
All right. So here's where the movie genuinely surprised me. So I've made it no secret that I'm not a huge fan of kaiju. To me, it's like watching a fight at the pace of like a 1980s WWF wrestling match. It's a lot of posturing, a lot of just like not like silly looking attacks and like not a lot happening. A lot of monsters making the same noises over and over again. It's boring to me. And it's sort of like I compare it to NASCAR where it's like it doesn't matter how big the monsters are if they're fighting like that, just like it doesn't matter how fast the cars are going if they're just turning left and going in a circle. So when I saw this fight, which I'm sure to Godzilla fans would have been much more blasphemous, I was actually surprisingly down with what was going on here. Because like just random monsters are showing up. Godzilla's just like slapping the shit out of them real fast and at a really bad camera angle. And he just like throw him up in the air, breathe the fire on him. Next. Like that thing's fucked. Bring on something else. And I'm like, I'm game for this. All right, let's do this. I was surprised by how interested I was in Godzilla just beating the shit out of a bunch of things that have no business fighting him.
What the hell was that bird's freaking problem, man?
I think the bird was just flying and happened to run into Godzilla.
Happened to run into Godzilla.
It was just trying to get home.
I saw a video today of a bald eagle did actually grab a shark out of the water, and it's just flying overhead across a beach carrying a shark. It just flies off.
Shit.
Yep.
You're like, yo, someone better make a T-shirt of that.
America.
Yeah, that's America right there.
Take that, Bruce.
I also apparently Godzilla was playing the shell game with some praying mantis, and they tried to rip him off, so he got just fuck them all up.
That was Gamakara. Yeah, you mess with Godzilla, you get flipped over his shoulder with a judo move, and then he breathes fire on you.
And I get some tasty empty costume puppet murder.
Oh yeah. And that was what I was going to say is they were these costumes suck so much. There's no qualms about just lighting them on fire when they're done with it.
And oddly enough, with your explanation for some of this, I did start to think, because you sent me a text before saying that you weren't totally hating this movie, and I started to wonder if it's because this one in particular starts to bridge that gap between wrestling and monster movies, where it literally it might as well just be Stone Cold Steve Austin in a shitty costume fighting
That's very different.
Else. Okay.
No. I will watch Attitude Era professional wrestling over kaiju every day of the week, hands down. But I'm talking more like Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior area.
Andre the Giant.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so after he fights like an eagle, he fights these bugs. Then the kid's just look, it's Brosaurus. Look, it's Mander. It's just some random snake. Fuck, he saw me.
All the things.
Yeah. There's Amulus. I forgot what that was. I think that was the big eagle. And then he slaps this eagle. He comes down on it like Charlie Murphy, just slaps this thing's head into the ground a bunch of times. Fucking burninates it.
Well, I also because it is that whole scene. He's there's this monster, there's this monster, there's that monster, and then he's just and this eagle who's now just in Godzilla's face and immediately fucking him up.
Asshole bird for no reason.
And what did it see that it thought all right, this is gonna go well?
Yeah. I'm gonna be as popular as Rodan. I'm gonna do it. Take Godzilla out finally.
And it's not like he even had a considerable size advantage on Godzilla.
No, it was literally like a goose.
Yeah, it was just like a goose.
Now, I mean, geese are, geese will mess you up,
They'll
guess.
do that, yeah.
But if you just let go of the fact that, I'm about to punch a small animal, and you just go ahead and just wreck it, you can just kill a goose. This is not,
Yeah, I mean, if you really set your mind to it, you can just punch its head into the ground a bunch of times.
And weirdly, this eagle looked a lot like a Skeksis.
Yeah.
It did.
It just looked dirty.
Yeah.
It looked a little bit like Dumbledore's Phoenix. It looked a little bit.
No, but I think
a little
its
bit
face,
like a lot of things.
From the neck up, it looked very Skeksis to me.
Yeah.
So, another one of these Gamakaras shows up and is I'm going to eat this little kid. And the little kid's oh shit, I got to go. And runs and just falls in a big ass hole.
He has an Undertale, yeah.
Yeah, he does just do an Undertale because he's fine. He just lands. He's okay. He tries to climb out. Someone lowers a vine for him.
With a little basket with lotion on it.
By the way, that was the kid falling deeper into his coma.
Mm-hmm.
Was this before or after Godzilla Jr. started giving him a little back massage?
This is before. Once he gets him out of the hole, he's listen, kid, I mean, if we think about it a certain way, you kind of owe me.
He's oh, your parents? She's your parents are never around. That's a shame.
Yeah.
So
I got you out of that hole. Can I go in yours?
Wow.
So the vine comes down.
Gotta pay the troll toll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the vine comes down, and I know who's lowering this vine.
We all know.
And I know what's going to be up there when he reaches the top. And it still did not help. I saw Minya for like 1 second, and I was like, what the fuck is that? It looks like an asshole.
It is upsetting.
Yeah.
I honestly... I don't know what's worse, the little, like, the lazy eyes that can't quite open right, or the fact that he has, like, a mouth the size of his whole head, but, like, 3 teeth in it that are all in the center.
It's what you would get if Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy actually had a child.
Pretty much, like, for real.
And, Miss Piggy was on crack the whole time.
With all the sexual inappropriateness.
Like, their costume is so bad.
It's bad.
Just so terrible.
And just like Milo and Otis, like, the Japanese people went through so many midgets filming this movie.
Yeah. I mean, 90% of it is just like they threw a tarp around a person and then covered them in tar. Like that's...
It's just a green tarp, and they used a hairdryer to shrink it. It's like, get out there and fight this goofy other thing.
So now you see Gabara, the
you
main
mean
villain
Scott
of
Tenorman?
Dude, this monster sucks so bad.
Do we want to do the round table on people describing this?
Sure, yeah. Brian, we'll start with you again. Or Joe, did we start? I don't know. I can see Brian first on my screen. So
Yeah, do Brian.
Describe Gabara for us.
Which one is that?
He's the bully.
The bully, yeah.
Like the main bad guy monster.
Oh, so picture like if you took a hairless cat, right? gave it the same texture as that fucking Louis Gossett Jr. character from that Annie Vine movie.
What? Okay.
And then made him green. That's it.
All right. Joe, what do you got?
Okay, remember?
I believe that was Enemy Mind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
I was joking. I'm sorry.
What was the 80s and 90s comic strip that had Opus the Penguin?
Was that just
called Opus?
Marmaduke?
No idea.
No, I had I'm trying to remember the name, but
that's not Doonesbury, is it? Or
No.
I forget, but it had a cat called Bill the Cat, and he was this weird, stretched out, tall.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
that was constantly making this tweaked face. All right, so take that cat, shave it like Brian said, cover it in blue and green pustules, and then give it Trump hair and a headdress. And that's basically what you got here.
It's Bill the Cat, by the way.
Bill the Cat.
Okay, Tony, what you got a description for?
Okay. So you take Godzilla, get that in your head. Now imagine his deep south inbred cousin, and just throw the wig from Carnage at the end of Venom on top of him.
Can we call his inbred cousin Rodzilla?
Yes.
Yeah.
He definitely. Well, I think he'd be Rodzilla O'Doyle.
Godzilla.
Or O'Doyle.
O'Doyle.
It's O'Doyle rules.
All right.
That is a phrase this monster has said many times.
All right. Will, you got a description for?
So back home in North Carolina, in some of the counties that were a bit harder hit by the meth epidemic, there's big billboards on the interstate. So it'll show someone's picture, and it'll be like 3 months of meth, and then on the right it'll be them having been on meth, and they just look way more fucked up. Like it was only 6 months, but they look 30 years older. Less teeth and pustules and sores and all that are in their face. So I think someone should make a meme of that, but Godzilla on one side and this creature on the other.
Right.
Yeah, if I could throw in, if for those trying to picture this creature and Midna, you should have a good jumping off point is just Google image search for Florida Man.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, my description would be maybe just take all of the Weasley brothers and mash them together. Or
they had a spliff accident.
Anybody you know named Randy. That's pretty much it.
So
yeah. That's about it. That's about it.
So on site for this thing, Ichiro screams for his daddy. And at this point, it cuts back to Ichiro's mom, who calls the toy guy here, Inventor Man. It's like, go check on Ichiro. So the guy goes in the room, and Ichiro appears to be dead on the floor by this computer.
Yeah.
And this dude's
Who
like,
sleeps like that?
this guy's like, your mother called me to take care of you. How come I'm the one taking care of you? And she's out with all these other guys. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride, eh? I'll get my turn.
She's just a whore whoring around.
Sleep well, Ichiro.
So Ichiro's like, fuck you, I was having a cool dream. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go play in the fucking construction site.
Don't touch my damn car, Ichiro.
Yeah. And he meets
he's gonna touch the car.
He meets the shitty bully kids again. You know, they're just like, come here. And he runs away, so they call him a baby. And he goes into the abandoned building that he wanted to sneak into earlier, but the shitty kids stopped him. He finds 2 vacuum tubes. Things are looking up. Ichiro.
Yeah. This is when he starts humping the car.
No, that happens a little later. So yeah,
this
he
kid's
plays.
just shaking hands with danger is what he's doing.
He's playing Fallout. He's scrounging through all the containers looking for that good scrap. And turns out the bank robbers are hiding in the factory. Oh no!
Because why wouldn't they?
Yeah. And
But I want to point out, how shitty are the cops in this movie, right? Because the car they abandoned is like a block away from this fucking factory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like where would I go hide?
It's literally within walking distance of a child.
Yeah. Check the fucking factory. Let's go
It's
check
on
it.
his school route.
Well, but I mean, these cops check things by going like they stood outside the factory and was like, "Is anyone in there?"
Yeah.
Nothing happened, and then they left. So now Ichiro somehow acquires the shittier looking goon's driver's license, which I didn't see happen. And he's like, "Good times."
He found it in the you see it on the floor.
Yeah.
In the factory.
So yeah, he's like, "Cool, I got some scrap. I got a fake ID. I'm gonna go celebrate by on the way home just humping the shit out of a car for sale." Which, granted, I mean, many years his senior, I was still humping cars.
Yeah.
And you know, when one of you gets a new car, sure enough, I will hump it. So I can empathize with what he's doing. But he's like up on the hood ornament and the bumper, just fucking grinding on this thing.
Yeah.
And
But
so
he is not making love to the car. He is straight up fucking this
yeah,
car.
yeah.
I mean, you know.
Yes. He has no regard for if the car's getting off or not. He's just getting his.
Yeah.
These are all the interactions he has with his mother and her
Yep.
suitors. So,
All right.
So
this weird neighbor comes out and just out of nowhere, he's like, "What are you doing? Get away from this car!"
that's the guy that the toy man purchased from like that guy's parents a while ago.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this voice? Who is this person? Is this lady in the water I'm watching all of a sudden? There's like all these different freaking characters. There better be a naked Bryce Dallas Howard coming up if I'm dealing with all this shit.
Ichiro will be
Is there a
like
movie
this guy.
where that happens.
Yes.
Mhm.
Sort of.
Really? Okay.
I mean, you don't see nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Then.
Oh,
You
it's
can imagine
we got to put
really
Shape of
hard.
Water on the list. That
Shape
movie,
of Water?
Shape of Water, or whatever. The one, not the one, the fucking Lady in the Water. That's it.
Wait,
Do we know?
Shape of Water, very different movie.
Yeah, very
Really?
different. Yeah,
Yeah, there's some fucking in that.
yeah. There's, yeah. So anyway, fucking Lady in the Water's like it's terrible, but it's a good time. Anyway, so we cut
Watch
to
those narfs.
Yep. Inside the toy guy's house, and he's eating dinner with Ichiro, and the cops show up, and they're just like, "Hey, can you maybe lock up your car that's out there just in case the robbers come and take it?"
I was like,
Because
and maybe
once they have wheels, we can't catch them.
yeah. Also, maybe lock your door because we just walked in.
Well, I mean, the guy, he just told him, he's like, "Walk in." You know.
It's just paper. I mean, you know.
Why the hell does he have a severed white toy hand that says "Support your local police"?
You know
That
why.
creeps
I-
across
You know
the
why,
desk.
You know why.
I was like, did that happen? Did I just have a stroke? What is that?
Yeah.
It is out of nowhere too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ichiro's like, all right, I had dinner. I'm going back to Monster Island.
He's like, watch this, Ichiro. And
I
he
mean-
changes it and he's like, fuck the police. Fuck the police.
The hand forms a middle finger.
Yeah. So now back on Monster Island, Ichiro's got to run from Gabara, but then he comes across Godzilla, who's fighting a fucking crab, and I'm like, all right, I am down for this. Like, bring it on, Crab Man.
Wait, is this the crab or the spiders? When does the spiders happen?
The spider, I think, happens right after. Yeah.
Okay.
Right
Alright.
now. Right after.
Is that the one that looks like pubes?
Yeah.
We'll get to the spider.
Yeah, we'll get
So-
to the
We'll get
Yeah.
to the sweater.
So this crab is like, oh, by the way, I'm also a rock lobster. Let's play some fucking volleyball. And they're like
Yeah.
hitting a rock back and forth. And Godzilla's just like, you know what? Never mind. I'm just going to punch the shit out of you.
Yes.
So
I've had enough of this. Time to
the
kill
crab's
you.
like, all right, well, I'm going to bring you into the water. But little does it know, Godzilla gets stronger in the water.
That's right.
He comes out of the water with the crab's arm in his mouth, bites that shit off, kicks the hell out of the lobster, and just sends it packing.
Now, this is a scene from Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, the movie in which Godzilla falls for the island girl.
Nice.
Yeah.
So now Godzilla walks back on land
Eating well tonight.
Mm-hmm.
and immediately runs into Gamagaza,
Cheddar Bay
was how it
Biscuits.
said, who is indeed a spider who immediately hypnotizes Godzilla with his ass.
Is that his ass? Like,
That's
Yeah. And-
that is one way to call it.
Yeah. So, like, Minya is like, I got this. And he blows like a smoke ring
But
at
wait.
the spider.
Well,
Has
yeah.
he- but okay, so Godzilla literally, it doesn't show it, but it implies that Godzilla puts his face right up to this thing's ass.
That's coming. That's
Oh, that hasn't
happens-
happened. Okay.
That happens right after Minya blows a smoke string at it, and this thing's like, I'll silly string your ass. And Minya and Ichiro have to run away. So now Godzilla's like, don't you fuck with my son. And he's like, what, Godzilla? You want a piece of this ass?
This
and,
version
like-
of Godzilla has some serious bedroom eyes, by the way.
Yeah, the way they keep cutting between his face and the spider's ass, I honestly was like, is he about to fuck that thing?
He's
Is
thinking
Godzilla-
about it.
Will, is this how you millennials do it?
Yeah.
All this ass eating?
So
Got to get a big
Like
nest
groceries.
this spider straight up tries to like Scarlett Johansson Godzilla. Like he tries to get him against the wall. He's like thrusting his rump, shooting a silly string all over Godzilla. Godzilla's like, fuck you, I have death breath. It's just a bad day for arthropods all around.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Ichiro's like watching this, like, oh wow, that's so cool. Wait, why do my bones hurt?
So now Gabara shows up though and sees Minya and then crash zoom through Minya's legs to
Ugh.
Ichiro.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah,
Like-
this is...
Bad angle, bad angle.
I do not need to see his camel toe.
So fucking Minya like grows and breathes some smoke rings on Gabara. His Trump hair deflects it all. And then like Minya attempts to like use windmill, but like the I'm gonna just close my eyes and twirl my arms and run at you move, and Gabara just fucks him up.
I mean, this is, the thing, mess up thing is like, he's like literally twice his size.
Yeah. So it's and like Minya sucks at fighting.
Yeah.
But he's a kid. He thinks the windmill maneuver will work.
Sure.
So, meanwhile, Godzilla's distracted because random fighter jets show up on Monster Island.
Well, it's the
Where'd
time for
that come from?
it's time for the 315 carpet bombing.
Yeah, that's just what they do every day. And fucking, like, just firework the shit out of Godzilla. They're firing bottle rockets everywhere.
I also like, and I could be wrong in this, but I believe every time we cut back to the fighter jets, there are more of them.
Yeah,
just
it's just like,
somehow.
There's
Hey,
a bunch of waves.
hey, Goose. Hey, Iceman. We're gonna go get some beers after. You wanna get a little drunk and go piss off the monsters?
So,
Do a flyby. You want to do a flyby?
as always, the fighter planes fly so low that Godzilla just slaps them out of the sky.
Right.
And Ichiro's like, yay! And I'm like, those people just died, dude.
Yeah, there's probably like one of them was your real father.
They were looking for you, bro.
They were probably here to try and rescue you from Monster Island.
You're cheering their death.
So Godzilla's just like, that happened. I mean, I guess it's just the 315 carpet bombing. So he's like, all right, now that that's done,
It's a living.
He was prepared for it, though, because he was on that beach like, come at me, bro. Come at me.
Yeah.
I'm eating some fighter jets today. So fucking Minya now has to go train with Godzilla. And he makes just terrible noises the whole time.
Well, everything makes terrible
Everything
noises.
does in this.
But he sounds like if you took a baby seal and like pushed them into the garbage disposal. Like that's the noises he makes.
All right.
I was thinking, remember the guy in Temple of Doom that went through the big roller?
Yeah.
And he was slowly getting pulled in there. I think that's the noise he's making, like a seal getting pulled into that.
Yeah.
So, and then, like, all right, so Godzilla figures out how to trigger Minya's death breath by stepping on his tail. So then Ichiro is violently woken up, though, because the bank robbers have found him. Because he has one of the licenses.
If I could just also throw in, at one point when he's trying to teach Minna to do the fire breath, the kid laughs at him. And I really wanted Minna to just turn around and be like, what? It's not like you have fire breath. And like shoot him with one of those rings that does nothing on monsters, but like leaves this kid with cancer or something. And
like he's just
his
a skeleton.
eyes start melting.
Short
yeah, just
afterwards.
some kind of horrific fate for this kid.
So go ahead, Rob.
What is this voice that this McGruff Presley bank robber is putting on? Somebody explain that to me.
I can't do it.
Yeah,
Sure you can. Come on. Come on, kid.
Honestly,
we're gonna take a bite out of crime together.
Honestly, after the dude that was in charge of selling the car, nothing phases me.
If you piss me off, I'm gonna use my Boy Scouts pocket knife on you.
Now, if I were the bank robbers, right after I got the license back, I would have let Ichiro go. Because this kid,
he's a child.
Well, that and like Ichiro's sitting there tied to a chair, and he like sets a little hole trap with some newspapers, and then just sits there. Yeah, sits there and says Minya like 50 times. I would have been like, no one's going to believe anything this kid says about anything.
He's obviously crazy.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So the kid, like Ichiro, just fades away back into dreamland. He's like, well, I'm kidnapped. I mean, I guess I've got nothing else to do. Let's go check on Minya.
I guess I give up.
Yeah. So fucking Minya now is fighting.
Don't want to miss my stories.
Yeah. He's fighting Gabara, and like Ichiro powers him up by dropping a rock on Minya's tail that turns his smoke ring into death breath, and that kind of bothers Gabara. So Minya's now like Godzilla shows up, so he runs over to Godzilla like, "Yay, Dad! Look what I did!" Godzilla kicks him into dick, and it's like, get back in there.
Yeah.
So this poor like adolescent little monster has to fight someone twice his size, and his father's making him.
I told you how many times I'm not your father.
Yeah.
Also, not only is he twice his size, he apparently has taser hands.
Yep.
It's just
like Goku gave Cell the sensu beans to be at full strength before he beat his son's ass.
Yeah, I like in the DBZ abridged. They all just yell at him for that over and over again. Anyway, so Minya gets electrocuted a bunch of times, and then finally, like Godzilla is like, "All right, you know what? I will fight Gabara." That's after Minya bites Gabara and then has a little meeting with Ichiro to use the springboard to launch Gabara in the air, which wouldn't work unless Gabara is just really light.
Right. I think Godzilla was just like, all right, now you're just embarrassing me now. All right, fine.
So this is just a garden variety ass whooping. Like it's Gabara is not that competitive of a monster.
It's like, I mean, it's basically like when Lisa made Nelson fight, was it Dedrick Tatum?
Yeah. I was just thinking of in one of the Jackass movies when Johnny Knoxville had a boxing match against Butterbean in a department store.
Yeah.
And Butterbean was like, all right, hit me once. And then just knocked Knoxville unconscious. He hit his head on the counter on the way down.
Gave him severe brain trauma.
So yeah, like Godzilla's like, all right, hit me with your electric move. All right, that's fine. And I'm just going to destroy you.
Yeah.
Fucking flings him across the countryside.
We get so many empty costume body slams.
Yeah.
And Gabara's just like, I've been thrown out of better places than this. He just fucks off. And Ichiro wakes up, and we're done with Godzilla. That's all the Godzilla we get in Godzilla's Revenge. No
Correct.
revenge.
No revenge.
I mean, well, he got revenge immediately on all of those monsters that fucked with him. So I
It
guess
wasn't even revenge, though. It was like, it's not like you did something to me, and now I'm gonna track you down and give you revenge. It's like, you're gonna pick a fight with me, and I'm going to win the fight. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it was basically just self-defense. I guess just immediate retribution.
Instant karma.
Yeah, so now Home Alone breaks out.
Freaking Home Alone.
Yeah. So yeah, they're by the car that they just hotwired. Ichiro, he channels Minya and he's like, all right, I gotta do this. Bites the shit out of the I call them business robber and crappy robber.
Okay.
And then like Toyman's walking home from whatever dinner place he went to. Even though he just ate dinner, he went to go get like more dinner.
Did he get dinner or did he just go to the bar?
Yeah, maybe he was just getting sloshed.
Yeah.
He was looking for Ichiro's mom.
Yeah, he's walking home and he's like, that's my car right outside this abandoned building. I will go call the cops.
Maybe Ichiro's mom is using that again.
Because many times in American movies, this guy fucks that up and he just walks in the abandoned building and gets killed.
Right. He's like, no way.
Yeah.
No way.
So the fucking the crappier robber falls through the newspaper hole, and Ichiro runs for it, and business robber goes chasing after him, falls in a little hole, pulls out a knife now on Ichiro, like he's like, I'll fucking cut you.
Yeah, he's done. He's like, you're about. I hope this audience is ready.
Yeah.
Child's about to die.
Fucking Ichiro's like, I got my death breath, gets his fire extinguisher, freezes the shit out of him. And then he runs outside and fucking Toy Guy has, like the cops are there. Toy Guy did the right thing. They're just waiting for this dude who's now running with a knife covered in fire extinguisher after a child.
It's a good thing it was a year prior because, a year from that point, I don't think Ichiro would be outrunning anybody.
No.
And for the pancake stop.
He would have fallen down the stairs into that hole that he tripped in.
But he
would have never made it out. Yeah, he would have. That would have been his grave.
Winnie the Pooh style, stuck halfway through.
It would have been a Gremlin Santa Claus story.
So the Toy Guy's like, I'm sorry I abandoned you, Ichiro. Your parents aren't, but I am.
Yeah.
And then the next day, like, Mom says she's sorry and then has a good cry when Ichiro leaves the room. And that's all we get in that line. What's that?
She said she was sorry, and he was like, Ma, it's good. You gotta, you work and all kind of stuff. He's like, I get it, Ma, you're doing what you're doing the best you can. And that's why she was crying.
Gotta make that money.
I just wish you'd stay off the pole, Ma.
That's right. He's a man now.
It's like, Mom, I understand it. Just please don't fuck my friends' dads. It's weird.
It's so awkward at school.
The bullies are talking now.
This is why I don't have any friends, Mom.
And speaking of the bullies, so Ichiro runs into the shit kids again, and the lead kid we calls Gabara, he fights him in a very low frame rate battle. Like it's just hard to tell what's going on.
Michael Bay style.
Yeah, he headbutts him a bunch of times.
Yeah, it's filmed like terribly at like maybe 4 frames a second.
Yeah,
about.
I think this was called, we want to have, the scene where these two kids fight, but we can't, actually get these kids to fight in any convincing way, so we're just going to have, one
either
or
that
two
or
shots.
the kids, legit started killing each other, so they were like, all right, film it for 2 seconds, and then you got to hose them down. Hose them down.
Now, shitty kids, like, shit friends, one of which is, like, downright gigantic, like, don't help him at all. And they're just like, oh, okay, Ichiro fought back. I guess we all respect him now.
Yeah.
We're his friends.
Yeah,
and then...
like, but my race car shirt.
Yeah. Ichiro's like, hold on a second, guys. I'm going to go bully someone now.
Yeah.
Fucking random sign painter man who is precariously balanced. Ichiro just runs up to his motorcycle, starts doing the horn all like crazy out of nowhere, and the guy falls off his ladder, gets paint on his face,
and dies.
Breaks his neck.
Yeah, breaks his neck.
Now, earlier in the movie, when the kids took the tube from him,
Yep.
they said, we'll give it back if you go honk his horn. And he
Oh,
was like,
that
no,
was
I'm
right.
scared.
Yeah, they did say
He
that.
was like, no, I'm scared. So now he's not scared no more. So he went ahead and did it.
Now he's
that-
committing all kinds of crimes.
And that dude paid the price. And then-
Earlier I was scared of things. Now I have enough confidence to be a complete douchebag.
Yeah.
yeah,
Now
then
I only feel when I take a life.
and he runs along Train Dad, and he's like, whatever that guy said I did, I did do it, but I'm sorry. So they're like, all right, we'll kill him, son. Don't worry.
I'm not your dad, kid.
Yeah. And he's off to school with the shit kids and an androgynous girl. And that's the end of the movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tony.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, on RottenTomatoes.com, they do not recognize this as a movie.
What?
So
How could they not?
we'll move
It's
on.
in the Criterion collection.
Yay. Well, it's, again, there is a possibility, because I didn't have enough time to look up all 589 alternate titles, so maybe it's up there somewhere.
Maybe one of them has one.
But anyway, what are your thoughts and opinions on this, Joe?
So I was legit surprised on this movie. So let me tell you, like, when I download a movie, well, okay, when I get the DVD that Rob lets me borrow,
Criterion collection.
Criterion
DVD.
Collection,
Uh-huh.
Blu-ray.
I immediately, to make sure everything works well on the DVD, I skim through it real quick just to see, if there's end credits, if everything's there,
Yeah.
if the language is fine, just so I can try to give Rob time if he's got to like find a different copy of the DVD that he owns. So I did that, and I saw this, and I was like, "Fuck you, Rob. This is going to be awful." And when I saw this from 1969, I was like, they didn't know any better. Like, this is just, it sucks, but it's harmless. And the kid's pants were displeasing, but I actually got into the fighting, and I had no intention of taking this seriously at all, which for me is difficult. And I was able to do it, and I don't want to say I enjoyed this, but it was nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I could definitely see this being hysterical to watch with riff tracks or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you want an easy movie that can't defend itself at all to just beat up on with your friends, I would recommend this. So if you are a fan of very shitty cinema, I would recommend this. But it is a sucky.
Okay.
But I liked it a lot more than I thought.
Okay. Will.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be pretty on the same page as Joe. I was not sure what to expect when I saw this movie on the list, and then I saw that it was only an hour, and then I saw that it had no coherent plot.
Roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah. And so it's one of those ones which I've referenced before. It was kind of fun watching on my own, and especially looking forward to making fun of it and hearing different people thoughts on it. But if this is just one that I was going to watch for my sole entertainment at home, I would probably pass on it, but would be fun to watch in person with friends, like Joe said, with a riff track with a commentary track over it. Especially the fact that it's only a little over an hour, would definitely be fun for if we're ever allowed to have friends over again, something like that.
Think of the past, Will. Move on.
I know. Now things are different now. But yeah, so I don't want to say it was. So I'm going to recommend it for that, and then I'm not recommend it if you're just looking for a movie to watch.
Okay. Brian.
All right, so I hate this movie. I think, given circumstances, if we were in an environment where like we were all together watching it, I could see myself giving a bigger pass. But I literally fell asleep watching this movie. I had to go back to see where I fell asleep at, like, and pick up, what I missed. Like, this movie it's fucking boring. Like, it's a clip show of like not even like good parts of other movies. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like scrap footage kind of a clip show. And like, I don't care about any of the fucking characters. Like, I don't, the kid, I don't give a shit about the kid. I think he sucks.
You
The
didn't
bully
fall in
suck.
love with Ichiro?
It's
Huh?
a clip show to a show you didn't watch to begin with.
Yeah, like the bully sucked. Like, I'm more interested in the kid's mom because she was kind of cute, and then anything else. But like his mom, his dad, the old guy, the cops didn't have to be in the fucking movie. Like, none of that had to even fucking be there. Could have just been a kid fantasizing about Monster Island. That could have been a better movie. Just him just like running around the island and like talking about the fucking monsters that are actually there. But yeah, like I wouldn't recommend watching it again. I mean, unless, like I said, you're with friends, or like Joe said, a riff track, so that I can see that, But like, I would never go out about watch this again myself. Like, not gonna happen. And I found Rotten Tomatoes. You have to go under All Monsters Attack for it to come up.
I did.
But there aren't enough critics to have a critic consensus. So it's only 8 critics win on it. So it's 25%, and then 17% audience score. That's it. Like, but yeah, I'm done. Don't watch this.
Oh, sorry, I'm distracted by it because I was trying to find it. All right,
Rob, go.
So yeah, Rob.
This movie is terrible. It's indefensibly bad, but I love it. So I don't know whether I should recommend it or not, because it is terrible. But it's just my cup of tea. It's got puppet trauma. It's got kids acting all crazy and dumb.
Shorts.
Yeah, it's got short shorts. It's got super questionable parenting. It's got a subplot of bank robbers for zero reason. But yet there's just something about it that makes me just unironically adore this movie. I do wish very much that we could have all watched it together. That I definitely am sad that we couldn't see it as a group, because I think that would have enhanced the experience for everybody. But for me, I'm going to recommend it just as a kind of a so bad it's good. It's definitely a sign of its times. But it's only an hour long. Just there are worse ways to spend an hour.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a bit more with the rest of the group. Like, I recommend it in a group setting for sure. This is fun one to make fun of, or even if you're just alone and you just want something goofy to throw on while you do something else. Because, like, pretty much any time you look up at the screen, something ridiculous is going to be happening you could laugh at. But yeah, I do also agree with Brian. Like, there were points where I was also falling asleep. Like, I had to make sure I was sitting upright because I started to nod off. So yeah, it would be a light recommend. But also, you got to know what you're getting into, because if you aren't a fan of Godzilla and this kind of stuff, it's not really going to win you over. But yeah, so fun to laugh at with friends. But yeah, that's about all it's good for.
I still hold that it's better than Godzilla versus the Smog Monster.
You're probably right.
It's
just not. Yeah, that does not.
If I recall correctly, that is the one where Godzilla propels himself through the air with his breath. And it's also it's also somehow way more boring than this one. Like, nothing happens in the entire movie other than the beginning and the end.
All right, but that's enough of us recommending this movie, so we will recommend this movie. What else we got for the people?
Well, Tony, you have to decide what we're watching next time.
Oh shit!
Yeah. You don't have to do it on the air.
Okay.
But you do have to do it in a timely manner so I can get the DVD.
So you can go check it out from the library.
Correct.
Yes.
So get my little mask.
Support your libraries, people. Support them.
Yes.
Or don't. I mean, I don't care.
Wow.
Wow, Rob, anti-library.
And you worked in the library.
Yeah, I'm from the inside.
Okay. Yeah, I will. Fuck.
Hold it. That's all.
Yeah, just think about it. Just,
Alright.
That's okay. Just remember, you all get 1, and then it's back to the D20.
This is our free 20 roll, and then it's back to
This is your
to rolling
free
ones and
20 roll. Use it wisely.
I shan't.
Yeah, the ones I'm thinking of.
All right. In Will's case, I enforce the law of prima nocta.
We'll fight Will, because like it's been a hard enough summer as it is so far.
I'll call on you.
2 friggin' Batmans. That's what killed Joel Schumacher.
What?
Well,
That
let's
we
face
roasted
it.
his ass?
Having us reviewed 2 of his movies. He was so embarrassed.
You have more to worry about right now, because I could either go something really awesome or something real bad.
Yeah, but knowing your taste, it could be both.
Yes,
For me.
true. That's true.
In
Yeah,
the same
Rob's
movie.
a garbage person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am a garbage person.
So, are we done? Or-
Yeah, we're done. I'm gonna read this stuff. Guys, we want to thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard, please consider subscribing. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, the other
Spotify.
things, Spotify, and of course Patreon, and of course Podbean.com. That is who hosts us. If you want our episode archive, a link to our merchandise store, and more information, you can check out our website at 4ampodcast.podbean.com. You can still sponsor an episode if you want to. $20 will do whatever dumb movie you want. You can also follow us on Twitter or Facebook at 4am Podcast. You can also email us at the4ampodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to help support what we do, please consider becoming a Patreon member at patreon.com/4am podcast. One of Joe's animals just broke something.
No, that was my cats.
That was Will's animals.
They came scurrying out of the kitchen, so I don't know what they did.
That's all I got, guys. Till next time.
Yes,
Until next
deuces.
time.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Wash your
Adios.
hands. Wear your masks. Like, don't get in large groups and stuff like that, because COVID hasn't gone away. It's just,
Yeah.
Now
smart.
is not the time to practice your Godzilla-style death breath on other
Correct.
people.
Also, 6 feet means 6 feet, and look at the ground. There are arrows there. Follow them.
Just everywhere.
Just look down everywhere, just in case. Also, all right, then. Goodbye, guys.
Deuces.
That was Ichiro's mom.
Adios.
Yeah.